Good evening, everyone. Today is Tuesday, April 14th. The time is 7:01. I would like to remind everyone that we are being televised and replayed by WMCT-TV for our Marlborough Public School Committee budget hearing. And I'd like to call this meeting to order. So we have the public hearing for fiscal year 27 school committee operating budget. So we have 4 stages to the public hearing. Those 4 stages are speaking in favor, questions from the public, questions in opposition, questions from the school committee. And ready? So we will start with speaking in favor. So I'll turn over to Mr. Muhammad.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So for those of you who've already seen this presentation, and for those of you who have not seen this presentation, I just put together a quick overview of our budget. So our total increase for our FY27 budget, FY27 level service budget is $2,437,340. And this includes the increases to our salaries. This includes increases to our transportation cost. This includes increases to our supplies and services, and also out-of-district tuition costs, and also includes our newly identified needs, which are middle school and high school attendance academies, new science materials for Open Sci-Ed, and after-school music enrichment programming. So here are some of the areas that the budget impacts. We have newly reconfigured positions, which are 6 intervention coordinators, 6 interventionists, 5 SEL interventionists, 1 music teacher, 1 world language teacher, 2 preschool teachers, and 1 assistant principal. And as I mentioned in my previous slide, the newly identified needs also increases to our transportation. So for FY27, we will be looking to add 4 buses, which will increase our fleet from 25 to 29, and which will increase the student ridership and decrease walkers. And I have a brief update in our next segment if anybody's interested. So the overall budget for FY27 is $85,199,324. That represents a level service budget increase of 2.94% over FY26. And here is a quick overview of our revenue that breaks it down by the total state funding, city contributions, and our general fund year over year. I've added some historical data for some context, and this actually impacted our budget and impacted our decisions for FY27. And with that, I will hand it back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yep.
So anyone else speaking in favor? Anyone else speaking in favor? One more time, anyone speaking in favor? Seeing none, I call that portion of the public hearing closed. Questions from the public? Are there any questions from the public? Yes, Mr. Elton.
So my name is Elton Thomas, I'm the president of the MEA. We appreciate the district taking the time to maintain the same number of MEA positions overall. We've also seen that some Unit B positions are being reduced, with those staff members potentially re-entering the bargaining unit. We also want to recognize and highlight that this reorganization is intended to better support students, which we all share as a priority. At the same time, I'm wondering if we can speak more directly about how these changes will affect current staff. While the total number of positions may remain the same, the roles themselves are shifting, and not all staff may have the licensure to align with the new roles. Can the district clarify how that transition will be managed and communicated to staff? Additionally, would it be possible for the budget to more clearly show where the new roles are being created? For example, identifying positions within new programs like Hildreth, even if they are funded through reallocation, so the public can better understand how staffing is shifting across the district.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Thanks for the question, I guess a few things on that. First, we appreciate you acknowledging that we're working to bring more supports directly to our classrooms. So that's the whole goal of the FY27 budget. So thank you for acknowledging that. As far as the process is concerned, if you look in the budget book, you'll see that we actually noted in each of the cost centers where we are going to be changing FTEs. the majority of those FTEs are done through non-renewals. And so we would never publicly, put that information up for public consumption. These are people's employment, it's their livelihood. So we certainly wouldn't put that information in a public facing document. But we did identify the number of positions in each of the buildings figuring so that we're able to take a look at that. So the individuals impacted by any of those reconfigured positions will be notified accordingly with the Massachusetts General Law statute around the non-renewal provision. So that will all be done appropriately. As far as licensure, if the budget is certified this evening, we will be posting the position as anticipated tomorrow, because of course this is all dependent upon the City Council's approval of the budget. We actually think that once we start that process, that we will. I just realized it was not on. Sorry. We actually think that once we start that process and we start the postings, the interviews, and the appointments, that's going to open up other vacancies across the system that we'll be able to then move other individuals into, or they'll be able to apply for and move into if they're selected. So I actually think once this process gets rolling, again, assuming the budget is certified this evening, some of the kind of the angst around some of the reconfiguration will come down. If you look at the straight math, we're going from, in our reconfiguration, about 51 additional or 51 MEA positions to about 56 MEA positions, which is actually adding. We're thinking about 6 positions to the MEA. So I do think that we're going to have the room necessary for the individuals that we'd want to stay on and stay with the district. So I'm not too concerned that licensure is going to be an issue, given all the factors that I just shared.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the public? If you want to step up to the podium and state your name. Make sure the green light is on. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Heather Risley. I'm treasurer for the union. I also am a 6th grade math teacher. I live in Millbury. I'll apologize ahead of time. My question is about halfway down there, so there's a little bit of story to front it, if that's okay.
Say that again.
There's a little bit of a storyline to front the question to
You
give
can
some
just keep it
context.
to a 2-minute minimum.
I can
That'd be great.
absolutely do that.
Thank you.
I want to speak briefly about instructional leadership and how it connects to student growth. Over the past several years, Marlborough Public School has made real, measurable progress, and that hasn't happened by accident. It's come from a strong culture of collaboration, consistent expectations, and knowledgeable instructional leadership at the department and team level. As a member of the middle school math department, I've had the opportunity to see that growth firsthand, and it's been incredible to see how far we've come. That leadership has helped ensure that when students need change, as they always do, we're able to respond in real time with aligned, high-quality instruction. As I look at this budget and the proposed reorganization, I'm concerned about how that instructional leadership structure will function moving forward. With new leadership at multiple levels, with the removal of department head roles and seemingly teacher leader stipends, it's not yet clear who will be responsible for consistently leading instructional work, whether that's within content areas at the secondary level or across grade level teams at the elementary level. We know that strong PLCs require more than just time. They require knowledgeable leadership that can guide instruction, support teachers, and maintain coherence across classrooms. That kind of leadership is critical not only for student growth, but also managing teacher workload and ensuring that staff are supported in meeting increasingly complex student needs. So my question is, how will the district ensure that each content area and grade level team has consistent, knowledgeable, instructional leadership in place, leadership that can regularly attend PLCs, communicate district priorities, and support teachers in making real-time instructional decisions? I think we should all share the goal of continuing the progress we've made as a district, and my hope is that as these changes move forward, we are maintaining the structures that have helped us take those steps forward so that we continue to meet the needs of our students at a high level.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, to answer. So love this question because other than safety, this is our work. This is exactly what we do each and every day. With our reconfigured positions, we are actually going from 4 Unit B positions, and we will be adding, as Mr. Siddiqui mentioned, 6 new positions. They're new to the kind of the volume that we're adding, but we actually already have some of the positions within the school system. They are the intervention coordinators. And those are MEA positions that serve sort of kind of 2 roles if you read the approved job descriptions. They actually outline the work that is done around instructional leadership, both themselves as an instructional leader of their intervention group and working directly with students, but also in working and partnering with their Unit A colleagues, which we're really excited about. And so if you look back to the slide deck that Mohammed walked us through, we are adding 6 of those positions. We already have one of those positions, actually 2 in our district. So we'll be increasing, frankly, doubling the number of instructional leadership roles that we have. But we took a different approach after listening to our teachers. One of the things the teachers talked to me specifically a lot about was this need of bringing more kind of partnership into the classroom with modeling, with looking at student work, with helping with our core curriculum and programs. And so right now we have 3 individuals who are tasked with that. And then we have an assistant director who is also kind of working in that space, but sort of in a different lane, if you will, our ELL lane. We're actually going to be moving forward with 8 individuals. So we're doubling the number of instructional leaders to ensure that we have more help in our classrooms, more direction in our PLCs, more eyes on our student work and our content. So super appreciate the question and really excited to bring forward a model that actually doubles the amount of instructional leadership that we have directly in our school. So thank you for that question, Heather.
Thank you, Heather. Any other questions from the public? Questions from the public? Last chance questions from the public. Seeing none, I will close that portion of the public hearing. Speaking in opposition. Is there anyone speaking in opposition? Speaking in opposition. One last time, speaking in opposition. Seeing none, I will close that portion of the public hearing. Questions from the school committee? Questions from the school committee? I know we've seen this quite a bit. One last time. Questions from the school committee? Seeing that, close that portion of the public hearing. So we've gone through the 4 stages of the public hearing for the fiscal year 27 school budget. I now declare the public hearing closed. Thank you very much. And so the next item on the agenda is to adjourn to the scheduled April 14th school committee meeting. So I just need a motion.
Move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn is on the table and seconded. All in favor? And we are adjourned from the public hearing at 7:14. Thank you everyone for coming out. Have a great night.